Hi guys, today I'll be making a card using the Studio Calico February 2015 card kit. It's called Cirque, and I'll be using some of the stamps and also one of the papers inside the paper pad. This comes with the kit and it has a lot of fun pages, and there are two of each design. Very bright colors, and you can have a lot of fun using this paper pad. I already used some of the pages, as you can see. Okay, so I pre-cut my panel for on which I'll be stamping, and I used the Simon Says stitch rectangle dies. I am addicted to these dies. Love the stitch lines all around the edges of the paper. And I've used one of the small rectangles, and I'll be stamping the balloon right here, and we'll be stamping it with Memento Tuxedo Black, and that's because I'll be use some Copics to color the balloon, and Memento is great for Copics. It doesn't smear. If you want to use watercolor technique on and stamp on some watercolor paper, you should use the archival ink or StazOn that are waterproof, so the ink won't smear or smudge. I'll have to create a mask, so I can first color my background and then color the balloon. So I'll just stamp again my image onto some sticky notes. So that's the circle, and we'll stamp the basket also. I don't worry about the strings because they are black and they work just fine. So I'll just cut these very quickly and be with you in a bit. So after cutting my images out, I'll just place them on top of my stamped image. And to color my background, I'll be using some of the distress inks. I'll be using the tumbled glass and a bit of broken china. I will just lightly apply the color. I don't want anything too dark, just a sunny sky. And just for a bit of shading, I will add the broken china to the top. Now it's time to color my balloon. You can also use the stamps that come with this stamp set. There are two stamps that you can use for the inside of the balloon. I already used them on one of my other cards, but now I want to try some Copic coloring to see how this works. So I'll be using some orange. This is YR16 and YR68. I'll just apply the lightest one first, and then I will go in with the darkest. And for the basket I'll be using the stamp that it's in the set. And we'll be using some Memento Rich Cocoa. This is a brown ink. I'll be also stamping this mountain here, and we'll be stamping it a couple of times. I'll be quickly coloring the mountains with the only greens I have for Copics. And now, because I colored the background with the distress inks, I also got them a bit of ink in this side of the card also, so I'll just cover the mountain tops with a white gel pen. Okay, so I'll just set it aside to dry a bit. I will be also die cutting some clouds, and this is the memory box puffy clouds, and we'll be using the small clouds. We'll be mounting them on some foam dots. They are small foam squares. I'll be also stamping the sentiment, and I'll be using the You Lift Me Up. I love this sentiment right here, love the font, and works great with the scene that I want to create. For stamping I'll be using my favorite ink, and this is the VersaFine Onyx Black. I love this ink for stamping sentiments. It's very crisp, very, very black, very nice. We'll be stamping some of the small stars. Now that my gel pen here is dry, the white ink is dry, I will be adding some stickles. This is the Stardust stickles. And we'll set it aside to dry again. Actually, I should have do this at the end, because I'll have to mount this on my card base. So now I'll have to wait. And while waiting, I can embellish a bit my balloon. This is the Wink of Stella Clear Glitter Gel Brush pen. We'll be adding some glossy accents to the basket. Now I'll be cutting another panel from one of the papers included in the kit, and I set my eyes on this one. I'll be using the big rectangle die. And I also have another panel that will go that will be the backing of my main panel. Now I'll apply some of adhesive tape onto my color piece here. I just have to be careful not to touch the glossy accents. Or the stickles, as I see that they are not dry yet. Now after I adhere the two pieces together with some adhesive tape, I will mount my panel onto my background, and I'll be using some fun foam for a bit of dimension. And I'll be cutting a panel. I'll be using some adhesive tape again. If you have the craft foam roll, that works great also. And if you check my blog on a post from yesterday, I put a link to Amazon for a great deal on this craft foam, because usually it kind of costs a lot, so I found a great deal. So if you want to check it out, just go to my blog.